Here are the 10 best cities around Atlanta. In no particular order, starting off with number one is Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill is in Gwinnett County, so it's kind of northeast part of Metro Atlanta, and this is a super popular place to move to. Very close to other cities like Johns Creek or Suwanee, Sugar Hill is kind of in between those two cities. And one thing that brings a lot of people to this area is the community feel that you can find in Sugar Hill. It's not a very big city, and it's not like Marietta or Atlanta. Sugar Hill is kind of a smaller town that has become very popular, and there's not a huge population. And so the downtown area there is very quaint. So the feel of the city kind of has this small town vibe, but it's not small town like old South Georgia where like nothing is modern. It's become modern. The buildings there are modern. And so it kind of has this small town feel, but it still has that newness, that modern appeal to like the downtown area and the buildings there and the homes. You can certainly find homes in Sugar Hill that are, 20 years old or newer. And so that is a nice change of pace. Many of the small towns here in Georgia are like 50-year-old homes, 60-year-old homes, because they haven't really received as much attention. Those cities haven't received as much attention as some of the better cities around Atlanta. So Sugar Hill definitely has a great infrastructure. The city and the county has put a lot of money into the area there. And so this is one of the highlights of Sugar Hill. What's up, y'all? My name is Victor with Atlanta Suburban Living, and we put out videos every week about what it's like to live in Atlanta and the surrounding suburbs. Number two on the list of the 10 best suburbs in all of Metro Atlanta is Canton, Georgia. Canton is in Cherokee County, and so it's kind of a bit far north of Atlanta, maybe 45 minutes, hour and 15-minute drive to Atlanta if there's a lot of traffic. But Canton is quite a ways out there, and this is one of the things that brings a lot of people to the Canton area. They're wanting to get away from the crowd. They're wanting to get away from all of the busyness of the city of Atlanta and be out there in the country, get a lot of land for your home. You don't want to deal with a lot of traffic. And so this is the kind of thing that you can find in Canton. They have a great downtown area there that has that old historic feel to it, unlike Sugar Hill. And so if you're looking for that kind of like historic kind of aspect to the downtown area, Canton is a great option for that. Also in Canton, and one of the best parts about being in that area is the mill on Etowah. This is an old mill that is in between the river and the railroad. Like literally the railroad and the river are 100 yards from each other, and right in the middle is this old mill that isn't being used as a mill anymore. And so instead of having this kind of old dilapidated vacant building, they have transformed it into a lot of shops and restaurants, and they've kind of have this reclamation project to make it more appealing. They've also got the big green lawn there with the big TV, and so this is a super popular thing that we see in a lot of parts of Metro Atlanta. And the mill on Etowah in Canton is definitely one of the best parts of living there. Number three on the list is Suwanee, and Suwanee is in Gwinnett County. And when it comes to finding a suburb that is very family friendly and has affordable homes and good schools, this is definitely a great picture of Suwanee. Suwanee has all of these things, and they also have a great downtown area there in Suwanee. This is certainly one of my favorites. I listed it as number three. There's no particular order to these suburbs. I just kind of listed out the 10 of my favorites, and Suwanee is definitely at the top of the list or the bottom of the list. I'm not sure how you would look at it, but it's one of my favorite. I mean, probably top 2 or 3 in all of Metro Atlanta. And the reason for that is because they do all of the things so well. The affordability, the homes, the community, the downtown area. Suwanee does all of these things very well, and this is what brings a lot of people to the area. Suwanee Town Center is like their downtown area. City Hall is there, but there's also a giant park with an amphitheater and a bunch of restaurants and shops there as well. So it's super common to see people there at the park, throwing the ball or throwing the frisbee, or maybe going out to eat and bringing the food onto the lawn there in the park or to the amphitheater. And so this kind of adds to a lot of the community feel that you find in Suwanee. It certainly helps having these kinds of town centers, and Suwanee does that town center better better than maybe any other city around Atlanta. Number 4 on the list is Peachtree City. If you're going to move to Peachtree City, there are a few things you need to know. And if you have any questions about any of these things, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out and supported the channel and just asked questions. I'm more than happy to help, even if you just have any questions about moving to the area. But Peachtree City is a bit different than some of these other suburbs in that Peachtree City is on the south side of Metro Atlanta. The south side of Metro Atlanta doesn't quite get as much love as some of the northern Metro Atlanta suburbs, but Peachtree City is the exception to the rule. Excellent schools there, great community, and it's close to the airport. This is another big one that brings a lot of people to the Peachtree City area. Like when you're in the northern suburbs, you're, an hour and a half away from the airport. But in Peachtree City, you could get to the airport much more quickly. 30 minutes if there's no traffic, maybe 45 minutes, an hour tops if there's a lot of traffic. And so this is a nice change of pace compared to the northern suburbs that are super far from the airport. Another thing that brings a lot of people to Peachtree City, again, the community aspect of it is a big one, but part of that has to do with the golf cart paths that they have all over the city. I actually used to live in Peachtree City. It was a great place to live. You could get around to the grocery store or to, if you needed to go out to eat or whatever, you could take the golf cart path from your home in your neighborhood to one of those areas nearby. These golf cart paths go all over the city, or like the kids, oftentimes they'll go to their friends' homes on the golf cart paths, or, whatever errands, maybe dropping kids off for the school. They often do this with the golf carts. And so it makes it really easy to get around the area, around the city, and definitely helps with the community feel to it. The average home there in Peachtree City is about $700,000. You can certainly find homes as low as $500,000. And so this is a great part about living in Peachtree City as well. Number 5 on the list is Brookhaven, and Brookhaven is different in that it's within the perimeter. It's within the 285 interstate. All of these other suburbs are outside of 285, but Brookhaven is literally so close to Atlanta. They neighbor each other, Brookhaven and Atlanta, and this makes it a very different kind of feeling suburb. It's not like a suburban area where you have to drive all over everywhere. Like if you're going to go from your home to a grocery store, you got to take the car. This is not the case in Brookhaven. You can easily walk to the grocery store because everything is so much more densely packed. The population is more densely populated, and so Brookhaven is different that way. It's more kind of an urban city, an urban suburb of Atlanta, not like one of these suburbs on the outskirts of Metro Atlanta where you get a lot of space. Brookhaven is very different. Number 6 on the list is Peachtree Corners, and Peachtree Corners is also in Gwinnett County. I know we're starting to see a theme there. Gwinnett County is definitely one of the best in all of Metro Atlanta. A lot of the cities there in Gwinnett are great, but Peachtree Corners also is very easy access to Atlanta, has excellent schools, great community, and so not all of the cities in Gwinnett are great, but Peachtree Corners is definitely one of my favorites. There is a lot of people moving to this area. You can still find affordable homes there, and so this definitely makes Peachtree Corners in the top 10 of all the cities around Atlanta. Okay, 4 more to go. Now we're definitely getting to some of the best ones, and number 7 on the list is Powder Springs. And the reason that I included this one in the top 10 cities is that the affordability for the homes in Powder Springs is unlike any of the other cities on the list. It's very difficult to find affordable homes like lower than 400,000 and excellent schools and great community. Like typically you have to give up on one of these things in Metro Atlanta, because typically when you are looking for the best area in Metro Atlanta, it's hard to find the perfect combination of great schools and great community and affordability, because what you typically see is that the cities that have the best schools have the highest price homes, or if the price of the homes is very low, it tends to be because the community is not very good there, so people don't move there very often. So all of these things tend to be correlated. So when you can find a city that has all of these things all in one place, this is definitely one of the best parts, and that's Powder Springs. You can find excellent schools, excellent community, and definitely not have to break the bank to buy a home here. You can find homes as low as $350 in Powder Springs, and so this is a big reason why many people move here. In addition to that, part of Powder Springs is in Paulding County and part of Powder Springs is in Cobb County. So very often people who want to move to Cobb County, cities like Marietta or Kennesaw, they will choose Powder Springs because it's more affordable, but it's essentially the same thing as Marietta and Kennesaw. All of these cities are very close to each other, but you can find more affordable homes in Powder Springs. Number 8 on the list is Woodstock, and Woodstock is just north of Marietta. Excellent downtown area. This is certainly one of my favorites in all of Metro Atlanta. And then number 9 on the list is Alpharetta. Alpharetta needs no explanation. It's definitely got all of the things. Excellent schools, a great downtown area. The city and the county have done a great job of keeping the city looking very clean, and like when you walk or drive through Alpharetta, you instantly feel just how much care and love the city has taken for the areas there. The sidewalks are super wide. There's not like trash on the ground. The trees are not overgrown, and so all of this adds to the beautification of Alpharetta. And then number 10 on the list is Marietta. This is absolutely my favorite. I live in Marietta. I know Marietta like the back of my hand, and I definitely recommend checking it out. If you want to know about Marietta and why this is one of the best suburbs, you can check out this video. I'll see you in the next one.